Hello again. Well, it's late afternoon here in the Philippines and I'm having one of my late afternoon walks down the same piece of road that I walk on a regular basis, but this time I decided I'll take a diversion back an area I haven't walked for a few days anyway because of the bad weather. But you know, I'm talking really, I suppose, this morning or this afternoon by bringing up the subject of expectations. Expectations. You know, so many of the channels here in the Philippines will paint a rosy picture of, no doubt, the Philippines. The beautiful beaches, the lovely women. Don't have to look far, there's new channels starting up all the time. Really what they are is a glimpse of that person's individual life. What he finds, what he discovers here in the Philippines. It's nothing more, nothing less. And for those that are sitting in the comfort of their leather lounge suite in Oklahoma, Sydney, Australia, Auckland, New Zealand, or even London, UK, even Gay Paris. They are just looking at a moment in time. Someone's holiday snaps, really. There's a guy, a very charismatic person, or he appears to be. One would hope that he remains that way. He's always got a smiling face. He's American, called Go-Go Wanderer, or something like that, Go-Joe Wanderer. And he's just recently set up home in a small flat, I suppose you'd call it, a little apartment, which has got everything in virtually like a 40-foot container, really. Even the roof is steel decked. So, but he's already found himself a girlfriend, which wasn't going to be very hard, I'm sure, with his good looks. But I'm not here to tell you about a man's good looks. Might make you wonder about me. But he epitomizes the vitality, and I suppose you would call it the honeymoon feel of coming to the Philippines. One of those moments where you capture his, I suppose, intrigue in finding a place such as the Philippines to make home. For how long he makes it, I have no idea. And those that follow his channel, no doubt, will be able to, over the months ahead, years maybe, follow him in his exploits. I would suggest, though, having bought himself a nice shiny new motorbike, that he follows the road rules, and for the sake of his girlfriend, if nothing else, both of them put on the helmets that they took so long to try and choose the right one. And hello. And I suppose what we're back to is the fact that each of us who are creators of YouTube channels here in the Philippines are just that. We're just one person out of many. I come from England originally and have spent many years in Australia. Hence maybe a little Aussie tang, or twang as they call it. But for most of us it's just simply a journey, an adventure. Some of us, of course, have decided to put down our roots, put in the tent pegs and make this our permanent home. There's a wake going on nearby, just there as I went past. There's always something going on here. Sadly, member of the family have passed away, and there's this traditional way of paying homage to that person. Usually the body stays in the home. Friends and family come and visit, pay their last respects. But that's all part of living here. For some, of course, they don't even see that, because first of all, they don't really probably understand what's going on. But for many, they go from one restaurant to one resort to one exciting event after another. And that's fine. That's like going on holiday. That's what it is. It's a big holiday to them. The reality sets in when we start renting a place with the idea of staying at least a year plus, maybe setting up a home with another person, because what seems to be quite affordable at the start can, after a period of time, start to show you that it's like anywhere. You need setup costs. You need the opportunity to buy, I suppose, mattresses, cooking utensils, all the sort of things that you need to run a normal functioning lifestyle. And these things do cost money, and it's amazing how when you first come to a country, you hear yourself saying it, wow, that's cheap. Oh, I'll have to have one of those. Yeah, no, I can afford that. Yeah, no, I'll have that. And before long, you look back at your bank balance and you realize that you maybe spent $10,000. And you think, where the hell did all that go? I've only been here a month. But that's the reason, because it's a false sense of security when you arrive with a wallet full of money for your expenses, your budget for your holiday, that you hope, or would hope for, maybe becoming a permanent fixture here. For those that come with what we would call very limited funds, in other words, just enough to see them through each month, as they would be back home in the country from where they come, there's a more realistic approach to life there. After all, if you've only got $1,000 a month or $2,000 a month, that's got to last you. But there's nothing more after that has been spent. It's just sitting waiting for the next payday, or should I say the next pension day. So life here in the Philippines is, what I'm saying is, it's like anywhere in the world. The only difference is that I suppose we have to put up with rain and typhoon, which we've had a fair few shakes at the rattle there over the last few weeks. And one feels for all the people that have got very little and have got even less now. But all things being equal, hopefully the typhoon season is starting to come to a close. Because it happens every year. It's something that everyone knows is going to be here. And we move into what I would probably call summer, the dry season. Around Christmas time, it's always quite warm here. So you have to get used to being able to live in a hot climate. And for some, that's not easy. They will spend a lot of money trying to stay cool. Sorry about that. Not a frog on the road, but a frog in the throat. Anyway, I'm turning around, as so many of the bloggers do, but I didn't do it tastefully. I just did a U-turn. But back to what I'm thinking about, and that is that, guys, you have to take all of these videos that everybody puts up with a certain pinch of salt. You know, there's plenty of videos about budgets, plenty of videos about lifestyle, plenty of videos about barking dogs, just like there. And for those that don't like that kind of thing, the Philippines maybe isn't for you. But before you go rushing off to look for somewhere else, just remember your money does go further here. It really does. You look at Thailand, they've got their problems with various banking regulations that are making people scared and removing money out of banks, which traditionally are a safer place to put it than under your mattress. After all, if everybody in the community knows now that people are keeping it under their mattresses, I would be sitting there with a gun to make sure that they didn't come and take my mattress away. But people still flock to Thailand, as is a much sought after area to go to. I went there a few weeks ago on my visa run, and it reminded me how Southeast Asia is splattered with all kinds of lifestyles, some quite unique. The Thai religion, the Thai temples, there's Vietnam, Cambodia, all of these places are quite unique in their own way. But they also have problems with visas, difficulties maintaining a long-term stay there. I know there are going to be people that say, oh, but I've been here for so many years. But it's not as good and as easy as it currently is, I'll say currently, here in the Philippines. There's no doubt that the cost of visas has been slowly creeping up. And I think that's just purely economics. I don't think, like some suggest, that it's going to necessarily vastly change. Because the Philippines does need our dollars. They do need our pounds and our yens. So I don't think they're going to shoot themselves in the foot and discourage people from coming and settling here, as long as they have a reasonable ability to support themselves, an ability to buy a outward going flight to recover and recoup. I think there'll be no problem for the future. But karaoke's, loud music playing, cock-a-doodle-doos and dogs barking, and of course brownouts are all part of life here. And if we're going to let, even watching a video like this with these noises in the background, we're going to let them put us off coming here, then clearly we're not going to assimilate or settle in and adjust to life here in the Philippines. At the end of the day, it's a cool evening. The clouds are covering over the sun at the moment as the evening sets in. There are chickens, I'll turn around so you can see, chickens wandering across the road and dogs here, there and everywhere. Rubbish on the side of the road. This is always a pity to see that, but the barangays do their best to discourage that kind of behaviour. But lack of resources, and we all know if we watch the news why there's a lack of resources here in the Philippines. Some have been helping themselves to massive amounts of money, allegedly. And of course the projects that are affected have a drastic effect on the life and the lifestyle of the local. So rather than go on about that, I might bring this video to a short and final end, and I hope that it gives you some thoughts for the day that can help you maybe reconsider making the Philippines a place where you can take your time, don't rush. There's always someone out there that